Hey traders, going to give you a market update with 7 different stocks that I'm keeping an eye on for and I'm looking at in the market. So let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, so here's 7, as a bit of a market update, I'm going to give you 7 different stocks that I find really interesting that are on my short list of what I'm keeping an eye on for. So the first one here is AMP. Now, AMP for me, guys, is really interesting. If I bring up my weekly chart here on the candlesticks, let me just delete a whole bunch of these things. AMP for me, guys, looks really interesting. Now, the reason why is if I squeeze this up as much as possible, you know, let me just delete this here as well and delete that there as well. You can see that we have actually got obviously a very nice downtrend. Now, the reason why I'm liking AMP here is I think it's really interesting for more bearishness is obviously, you know, since 2015 it made a top and it's been going down ever since. That's the first thing I do see. The second thing I do see is that I'm seeing that this market is starting to probably create a little downward channel from there, and I create a little parallel channel from that, and you know, we can probably, yeah, out there somewhere would be where the channel would be. So you can see that's what's happening right now, and you can see the market's rallying up. We have a bit of support there, and as much as probably up through there as well too would be the sort of the strong area of resistance. So just above it right now, you can see the market's rolling down, going lower trough, lower peak, lower trough, and now lower peak. So I'm looking at this chart here. I'm saying, okay, the overall market is flowing down here. Now I wouldn't go. I'm not getting in these. I'm not getting into these stocks right now. But what I am doing is I'm getting, you know, I'm looking for opportunities. So that's the daily chart. So that's the weekly chart. Now look at the daily chart. Let me actually just go and have a look at the daily chart right now, and you can see that where we're looking at right now, we can actually see the market's rallying up into this area of resistance. So this looks like a really interesting area to be going short at, and it looks like it just looks like a really nice area. We have been going up for the last sort of, let me just go sort of 1 year worth of data. We've been going down for the last year, but we've been stepping up. I think when the market hits here, we're likely to go down, and we're likely to be doing something like this again real soon on this stock. So, but I'll be looking for some sort of an entry signal on that one. What it'll be, it could be different things. So let's go have a look at the next stock, and the next stock here is HD. Now with HD, firstly I looked at the weekly chart on HD. Let me bring up this weekly chart on HD, and I noticed by looking at this overall, let me just take all these lines up. I noticed that this market is actually struggling. If I put a resistance line, you can see that there's a whole bunch of areas of resistance. Resistance and support up the top here. It ran up, it struggled, and you can see on this weekly chart is if I bring up my trend lines, and again guys, what I'm talking about here is I still like to I trade a lot of sort of directional plays, plus I trade a lot of WBS trades, meaning it's like basically a non-directional play. All these setups I'm looking for is more like a directional play that I'm looking for. So, and I'm just, and plus I'm also going through these analysis, also helping you read the charts as well too. So what I do see is, let me just bring up, say, a black here. You can see obviously lots of resistance through there. The market struggled through here. Remember, this is a weekly chart. Lots of support through there. Could not close below, could not close below, closed below, and now we're at this area of sort of resistance now. And you can see what's actually happened through here. So we've got a lot of support and resistance going on through here, somewhere around that trend line through there. So you can see that on the weekly chart there, it's having problems. Now if I go to the daily chart here and bring up my daily chart and open this up, you can actually see what's actually happening. Looks like it's forming a bit of a bear flag at this area of resistance. So you can see this market's gone sideways, broke down, and this nice little sort of squeezing up into this resistance level. So if we get a nice little breakout, that could be a nice little bear flag continuation pattern of this, what I would call a potential start of a trend. Now, now if this does start to run, where's it likely to run to if it does break down? Well, this is what I like to do. Let me just bring up, say, 3 months worth of data. Let me just open the chart up. So we're going to go 3 months again. And what I like to do is I like to just to go through there. So I'm going to, let me just extend that through there. You can see how I'm just extending that line through there. And let me just take that out for a minute. So you can see that this is the bear flag formation, of course. And let me just put that up through there. So we're going to put that high. And I'm going to connect that then. I'm going to just create a parallel. I'm going to create a channel out of that line. And I'm going to connect that down to the bottom. And you can see that was the support there. That was the support there. So if it does break out, where's it likely to run to? Well, we have a good 3 or 4% down to this area of resistance. It's a short-term flag. It's a short-term trade. But that's what I'm just showing you there. That's the actual next one there on that one there as well too. Now, next one here is on AAP. Why did I like AAP? Let's have a look here. Oh yeah, so this here AAP would be a bit more of a longer term setup for me, a longer term play. And as you can see, this is a massive head and shoulder formation. So if you look at this, you can actually see that left shoulder, big head, massive right shoulder. So if we start to break below and actually close below here on the weekly basis, close below that level there on a weekly, so say a week opens and comes down and closes there, well, to me, we have a big run down towards this sort of 100 to 105 level. What is this trend line here? This trend line here is coming back from this major low. So if this breaks, this is going to have a nice 20 to 30% drop on the downside pretty quickly, and then that will actually go with what's actually happening. And if I draw a parallel trend line from there to there, and let me just extend that, go from there to there, you can see where it's at right now, and I'm creating a parallel trend line. You can see that I just connect that out through to there, somewhere through there, and you can see this support, all this resistance. So if it does hold here and fail, especially if it does hold here and fail, you can see that if it does hold here and run down and close like that on this chart, you can see we're likely to head down, and we're likely to head down below here. So that's where it looks like it's gonna head down, and looks like it could be quite a decent drop as well too. And maybe even as low as these sort of support levels down here, 90 to 100 level is a target for me on AAP, and that's more of a longer term trade on that one. Next one here is Netflix. I like Netflix because I just think overall Netflix is definitely on a big move. And if I look at this weekly chart here, Netflix for me, guys, is definitely on an overall movement on the downside. If I just get my pen out and I show you this here, it's obviously made this major top here, major low. So we're stepping down, and there's a whole bunch of area of resistance going on right now. So I'm expecting a bit of a topping action here soon. And looking at that, we can look at the daily chart, and we can actually see that looks like we're trying to chase that gap and trying to fill that gap after being hit for a couple of months. But you can see a big trend line down, stochastics oversold. So this looks like it might roll over and get a lot more downside on it. AME for me, one that I like this because we've actually gotten we're in this big bull channel for many years. We actually failed at this 54, broke down, made this major low, ran back up. We had this big move down, big strong selling move down, and now we're moving up. And if you look at that on a daily chart, this AME, you can see we had a breakdown, a big run up. This is actually very weak because look at that, and now we're looking for maybe a move down, and you can see like this is looks like it's trying to create maybe like a bit of a bear flag formation now. I know it's got a gap to fill, but where the stochastics are, looks like this. If we do start to break down, this looks like it could be a nice continuation move on the downside overall. And you can see just this big drop down is really weak, and so then I'm expecting to see maybe a drop back down towards these lows through here. Also AIG to me looks really interesting. The reason why, look at this weekly chart, you can see that AIG made, let me just bring up my little pen here, and we'll go green. You can see how it made this top, a little double top or slight lower peak, trough, lower trough. I've had this big run down. This looks like a big overall big bear flag. It looks like it's breaking up into this area. Plus there's also a little bit of area resistance up through there. Plus also a little bit more up from there as well too. So that's where we're at right now on the weekly chart. And on the daily chart, you can actually see as well too that we're actually running up. So I would say, guys, if we do hold where we are right now and we start to close below this channel, then we have, this is one big bear flag. And where do I think this is going to go? If it does pause and hold here, well then yeah, we could actually see, let's actually bring this up here. Yeah, we could actually see a drop down towards that level through there. Let me bring up the weekly chart. That level through there. So yeah, so I reckon a good projection line would be that level through there if it does hold here, and that's a good 20% drop on AIG. So AIG, it looks like it's very weak. Look at that weekly stochastic as well too. The daily stochastic is obviously above there. Looks like it's very weak at the strong sells. If we do hold here, now if we do race back above, then that's no trade. I'm telling you, these are the stocks that I'm looking at that I'm waiting for an entry signal. And if the market does drop down through there, then that to me looks really nice as well too. So CBG for me, let's have a look at this. Why did I like CBG? Obviously ran up, created a lower peak, have a lower trough, lower peak. We do have an area of resistance through there. Actually, you know what? I don't like CBG, so forget CBG. So all the other stocks, that's what I'm looking at, guys. Hope this really helps you out. Take care. Talk to you soon. I'm not going to BS you here. Trading is hard. Over my 10 years of trading, I've learned some amazing systems and strategies, and I've put it all in my brand new Grab the Markets by the Balls course. And I'm giving you 100% free access. This whole course is 12 videos long and almost 10 hours of the best systems and strategies that I know. Click on the image below now to get 100% free access right now.